It looks like the far left is fed up with their one-time golden boy, John Fetterman. The liberal media is now coordinating attacks to take down the Pennsylvania Democrat. It all started with this piece from New York Magazine about Fetterman's mental health, saying, quote, staffers past and present say they no longer recognize the man they once knew. The senator pushed back on that story.
It was a hit piece, a one-source hit piece, and on some anonymous sources, so there's nothing new.
For me, it's like, it's like in the Goodfellas, everyone takes a beating sometime. It was just a dumb hit piece, and we've all moved on.
But the New York Times ran with it and dropped this little nugget saying his volatile and concerning behavior has coincided with a period when his politics have become more conservative. Now the smear campaign is fully underway. The Associated Press claiming Fetterman melted down during a meeting with the teachers union, while an Axios piece quotes staffers saying the Pennsylvania Democrat seems uninterested in the day-to-day duties of a senator. And Fetterman's polling was already tanking before the hit pieces started coming. So expect it to only get worse. Wow. Molly, okay, look, New York Times, Axios, New York Magazine. This is like the media elite. They're all firing at the same time. Why do you think?
Well, because he's being a moderate, which he fits that district. Who he is for that district has worked out. It's worked out well for him. He was very, very successful in his primary. He won by 25 percentage points against another candidate, a representative named Connor Lamb, who was also a pretty good fit. Then he goes on to win the general election with 63% of the vote against Mehmet Oz. Kamala Harris won that district with almost 60% of the vote. He fits the district. He's got years to figure this out. Questions about his health, I think, are fair. There were major headlines in the run-up to his first election when he had the stroke. And then he was very open about his battle with depression. So I think those questions about health will just be something that he faces because of his openness and the public nature of the battles that he's faced. So it's not that any of that's unfair, but I do agree there's a bit of a pile-on. It's all coming all at once.
Yeah, Lydia, if you look at him, we just saw that video of him plowing down the hallway, step out of his way. He looked like he was fit as a fiddle.
Yeah.
And we watched him run against Dr. Oz, and he had a lot of trouble. I think he's doing better now, certainly, than when he ran, and that's when Democrats defended him.
Yeah. You're right. He's not hiding from the press or from the questions, to his credit. So I think that's a really smart move from him. I've spent a fair amount of time in Pennsylvania, and in particular his district, because it's steel country there. Yeah. We've on the Business Network, we talk about steel. I think it was really smart of him. I'm sure you remember he was the first Democrat from Congress to have a sit-down meeting with President Trump after Trump won the election. I think Democrats are still mad about that. So I think the timing of all of this is politically motivated. They're mad that he's a bipartisan politician. He's reaching across the aisle, but it's very clear that his district could benefit. He's got the steel workers, he's got an energy business, or energy production in Pennsylvania. Yep. He's trying to figure out how to support his constituents there in a way that makes sense for their economy.
David, he's very pro-Israel. Could this have anything to do with it? A lot of people in the Democratic Party are not so.
Yeah, look, that could have the pro-terrorist wing of the Democrat Party a little bit peeved, but Fetterman's a fraud. He's a fraud. When you look at his actual voting record, not what he says. I don't judge politicians just by what they say, what position they take, or who they meet with. It's what they vote and how they cast their votes. And when you look at his voting record, he is still a far-left voter. That's the bottom line with him. So whatever game they're playing, and it's a good point about Connor Lamb, because the decision between the two of them was really who was the more far-left. Connor Lamb arguably had more experience. Fetterman had a town of 1,500 people. So fail upward, and now you're the victim of, get this, a one-source anonymous hit piece. Sound familiar?
Yeah, it's been done before.